Hi, everyone. Welcome to the IMS 2025 Highlights webinar. I'm Ivana, and on behalf of Cenosco, thank you all for joining us. If you have been following us this year, you already know our focus. Remove the admin, remove the noise, and put engineers back where they create value in decisions and not data entry. So 2025 was a turning point for the IMS suite. We have shifted from digitalizing processes to supercharging productivity across inspection, integrity, and reliability workflows. So every improvement you see today comes from one core belief. Your teams don't need more features, they actually need faster outcomes. You told us your biggest pain points from too many manual steps, inconsistent data from the field, slow loops between teams, difficulty showing compliance fast, and a growing pressure to do more with less, and so on. So, IMS is uniquely positioned to solve this because, unlike generic asset platforms, IMS is purpose built for asset integrity, deep domain knowledge, risk frameworks, and engineering grade workflows that reflect how you actually work. So, that being said, Carlo, Marco, welcome to this webinar. The floor is yours.
Thank you,
Thank
Ivana,
you,
for
Ivana.
this great introduction. Happy to be here and happy to share what we did this year when it comes to IMS.
Yep. Uh, Same. Happy to be here. And yeah, let's start. We made, as Ivana said, a couple of big improvements to speed up the process. So today, it might be a little bit different webinar. So instead of showing you like a huge feature list of everything what we have done, we decided to organize everything into three big pillars and themes that we kind of found across this whole year. So these three pillars, the first one is the improved decision making, which kind of focuses more on the API RBI, some different calculations for minimum wall thickness, or even SIS. The second pillar is related to productivity and usability, which is always important while working on software. So we will focus more on the data analytics with dynamic forms, some advanced filters, and AI, which you might be hearing all around. So we are also taking some leaps here. And the third one will be with connected ecosystem, which will have improved drawings, some flange protocols, and also retirement and deletion management for SIS. So I will start with the first one, improved decision making, where the first section will be related to API RBI 581. So what is the difference between this one and SAPI? So we were focused mostly on the qualitative things. So there were no calculations. It was based on the engineer's judgment. It was super simple. It's quick. It can still be used, but we wanted to kind of do a little bit more. That's why we are now fully certified for API RBI 581 for the pressure equipment. So we have the full quantitative assessment for 21 different damage mechanisms, which means that you can have a little bit less of the guesswork and a little bit more precision. So with this approach, you can prioritize assets based on real data and not like some fixed schedules, which will in turn kind of do the more better resource allocation, reduced costs, and enhanced safety, as this is one of the core themes that we always focus on. The second one, or actually for the closing word, staying aligned with the latest API requirements is now effortless, and IMS handles the complexity while you get the transparent risk calculations. The second one is the SIS report generation, which will save you time for generating SIS reports for SRS, SIF, LOPA, or even HAZOP. So you can generate the latest or last final approved version of your report, which will kind of guide you into getting the more traceability, or if you need it for audit log or for any type of compliance, you can have now the latest report available to you and generated with just like simple click of a button. So these reports are now cleaner and faster to generate for easier audit purposes, which will in turn improve your efficiency while working within it. And the last one, which kind of falls into this theme, are the theming calculators. So for kind of calculating the minimum wall thickness, why does this matter? Because it's the backbone of the equipment integrity, and the accurate calculation will ensure that your assets withstand pressure, corrosion, and operational stress without kind of over design or having unnecessary costs. Um, you can kind of use this within the settings page. You can use this on different CMLs. We will have a demo which will kind of show you what this is all about. So we'll have like a first view of everything that you can kind of do with this without me just reading or explaining. So yeah, you can plan inspections, repairs, and replacements. So engineers can get clearer teaming calculations, are more reliable inspection points, and you will get cleaner data history to make a more informed decisions. So these were the three topics for this pillar, and we can now go to the demo section.
Okay, so theming demo time. So let's jump right into that. So I will showcase the theming calculators, where you can find them in settings, and also how you can use them in your daily workflows. So in the settings page on the top of your IMS, you will get the kind of overview of everything that we currently have for the theming. If you go to the maintenance, and if you go to the corrosion data and theming calculators, you will get a list of all of the available calculators with visualization for vessels, heat exchangers, for the internal pressure, and also for the piping, also internal pressure as well. These calculators are used to be kind of tested and tried out on the fly, so users can calculate, plan, and manipulate the data to accommodate within their workflows. Each calculator also has a tooltip on the top with this small I info icon, and if you click on that, you will get the standard from which the calculation is taken from, so ASME 8, and also you will get a different formulas for which the calculation is being taken from. For example, here we are calculating two different values as the output, so the circumferential stress and also longitudinal stress. But for example, if I'm working with spherical shell, and if I click on the of the tooltip icon, I will get only one formula for minimum required thickness. These calculators also need to be mapped to specific equipment and CML types, as I already explained, so they are related to vessels, heat exchanger, and piping systems. So they need to be properly configured, which can also be done in the settings. And certain CMLs can have more calculators applied to them, just because of the way that they function. So this can be done either by the inspection admin, or somebody from Cenosco admins can also configure it for you. So this is how the page looks like. And if we want to do this in practice, I can either go to my equipment page and find the CML there, go to the circuit, or go to the CML. So let me open up the CML page of IMS. So now I'm here in the CML list. If I want to go and look at some of the CMLs, for example, the first one, I will get this calculated renewal basis and renewal thickness shown here. So I can see when this was applied, or more so when was the last calculation being made and who created them. So currently it's somebody from Cenosco, which makes sense because this was a demo site, and also which calculator is being used. So if you need any type of auditing or checking who created the calculation, you can find it here inside of this tooltip as well. But for example, if I go back and want to create a new CML which doesn't have my calculation yet, I can apply the plus button, find some of the circuits where I'm going to attach my CML, name it, okay, and select my CML type, which has been configured before. So for example, let's say pipe. I will get this available theming calculator button here, and if I click on that, it will hopefully calculate the renewal thickness, which I'm going to need. So I'm gonna input some of the values here. Okay, let's say 90. Okay, joint 1 and 0.5 for the coefficient. So once I'm done with inputting all of the input parameters, I want to calculate my minimum required thickness for the straight piping. And if I click calculate, I'm going to get some value which I will apply to my CML. Or let's say I don't want to do this here, I can click cancel. So I'm just gonna create my renewal thickness from scratch. So 0.538, or let's say 0.67, and create my CML. So you will see now that this page kind of opened my CML, and it looks like this. So I still have the available theming calculator, but the renewal basis is empty, which means this didn't come from the calculation itself. So I can also click on edit and kind of recalculate this based on my values that I had before. So 150, 90, okay, 1 and 0.5. If I calculate it, I will get additional minimum required thickness, which I can apply because this is the correct formula that I want to use. And if I click on apply, this field changed here. And also, if I click on this save, okay, I now know that this CML has been calculated using the theming calculator specifically based on a certain standard. So this, like I've said, also applies to different type of CMLs. You can see it who calculated it and if it was calculated manually or using this standard, which might kind of help you with navigating your workflows a little bit easier. Yeah, and that's it for this demo.
Okay, Marco, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Carlo. Thanks a lot. That was a really good demo of the theming calculator. Really looking forward to see what is coming next. Let me walk you through some of the productivity and usability improvements that we did through the year. We think this is going to hugely improve your productivity and boost your usability of the tool itself. But the first and foremost that we want to introduce, or that we have introduced during the year, it's actually data analytics in our forms. Our dynamic forms engine, it's in use for quite some years now. There's a lot of data that has been captured. There's almost 1 million inspections that were facilitated by the forms. So we have noticed the need to provide a certain level of data analytics. And when we say data analytics, it's really about learning from your inspections by using the data which has been captured during those forms. So you can learn from it by checking the measurements, for example, that was taken on a certain equipment through the years, so you can actually get meaningful insights from it. And when I say meaningful insights, I really mean that you can compare the measured values versus the expected ones, and you can actually get a nice chart which will actually show you exactly when was the time when the certain values were off, so that maybe you need to really to follow up with a certain corrective action. So effectively, this is giving IMS ability to track performance of the equipment through time, and we're really looking forward to see how this will be used in the system going forward. Um, Beside that, so it's also we also shipped one of the functionality that that shares the form through different instances, meaning that you can easily now transfer your forms between yourselves, and it's cutting the configuration time by 60%. And so we really did this to get the boost on your productivity again, and to be more efficient when it comes to the collecting data of with the forms and the inspections. Again, really looking forward to see how this is going to be used by our customers, because we really think this is quite a powerful way how the data will be able how will be able to get a meaningful insights from it. The Oh yeah, so build your dynamic form, get actionable insights really quick, short. This is what we want to see with our tools being used, and any feedback on this one, this will be really appreciated from our customers in the months which are coming. The next one on our list, which we think it's quite powerful that we have shipped this year, it's our new powerful filters, which are called min and max filters. It's a quite technical term, but they're really unlocking significant value. You can now get a list of the items in seconds, something that previously you should take the Excel and do certain changes and pivots, and that will take you definitely hours to actually get the data out. With this functionality, you can get insights in seconds instead of hours. For example, you can get what's the lowest remnant life for each circuit or corrosion management measurement location on each unit. So you can see really which circuit is driving your inspections on a certain unit. You can actually get the next inspection schedule for each equipment or each unit. So to really get what's your next step on the list which you need to tackle. Or if you just want to get the most recent inspection results or maintenance results, you can get that now for each equipment seamlessly in a few seconds, or maybe for a unit if that's the case. So really, there's quite a plenty of use cases for which this new min and max filters can be used. But the important part is really that this now gives you the insights in seconds instead of hours that was previously needed. So really finding data now is dramatically faster, fewer clicks, cleaner interface, and optimized output. But the most exciting functionality that we have shipped this year is our first AI functionality. So with IMS, you can now get inspection insights with Cenosco AI. So what we did is actually we have identified that endless time has been it's needed to actually go through the inspection reports through the years which you need to have in order to actually examine or to assess a certain equipment, for example, a tank. If you need to do an inspection of a tank or some assessment on a tank, you probably have like 50 years of the inspection data in it. And that requires quite some significant effort to actually go through all those insights and those reports. And what our AI, what it's doing is actually that it's reading all those inspection reports for you, and it gives you a summary so that you can actually focus on what's relevant. Instead of focusing all 50 years, our AI is going to pinpoint where are the most important information stored on those inspection reports in the last several years or all 50 years. So really, so it will gonna read all the inspection reports and give you a nice short summary so you can really screen what has been happening. And once you get that information, you can really deep dive into areas and focus where it's really meaningful and relevant to get your job done. So again, instead of losing time, spending time, just clicking, checking every year, you can just pick the ones which are really most important for your assessment. So focus on the relevant and spare time by using Cenosco AI, in short, with IMS in 2025. And I'm really happy to show you the demo, how this works in actual case. So let me show you our AI in action. All right, so here I have my list of all my assets. I want to find my tank, so let's just find it quickly. I'll click here and say, okay, give me my tanks. And I'm particularly actually interested in finding tank 3056. So let's find it. Okay, so here it is. Let's open it up. I'll click on the name. And here I'm actually getting my basic information about my tank. So I see that this tank is actually 50 years old, because start date was in 1975, and I here have an image of it. So let's quickly see what was happening with this. So here I have this button for the Cenosco AI. So when I click on it, he's summarizing all the inspections, and here I have my AI summary about this tank. So let's see what was happening here. All right, so tank went out of service due to the collapse of the floating roof in 2000. Okay, that's quite important information. In 2005, a vertical and settlement inspection was performed. External inspection was conducted in these 4 years. An internal inspection of the bottom and general maintenance was performed in 2012. And additionally, an external inspection was performed in 1995 and then in 2011. All right. Okay, so the following issues were previously reported: out of service due to collapse of floating roof, bottom internal inspection and general maintenance. Tank was inspected externally while on stream. The inspector should be aware of these previous issues before conducting the inspection. Okay, so that's quite interesting. So the most important take from here is actually the 2001, because we see that that's when the tank went out of service. And here I have my previous inspections, and these are the upcoming ones. Okay, thanks, that was quite helpful. So let's see, if we scroll down, we will see our inspection history. So we are interested actually in this one. So in 2000, the inspection of the floating roof collapsed. So let's see if that's the case. So here in the narrative, you see indeed this is what was happening back then. The bottom sheets were leaking, the roof failed. Okay, that's quite actually interesting. Okay, and here I actually even have an image showcasing what was happening back then. All right, and that's actually how you can quite quickly find out what was happening with your assets by using the Cenosco AI and the inspection summary functionality. Going forward to the connected ecosystem, uh, as you know, the IMS, it's usually not the alone island on your broad ecosystem that software that you're using. So we're really putting focus on connecting IMS with the other systems. And the first one on the list is actually the FCM part, where we have our now customizable flange protocols in FCM, meaning that FCM previously was tailor-made only for one use case. Now with this year, we're really shipping it customizable so that you can have your different flange protocols that can be connected with also different systems that you might be using, exporting data out, and also importing it into the FCM, especially when it comes to the protocols, which are really, really specific and depending on your flange criticality as well. So with this functionality in this year, you are able to really customize it so you can have your flange management system and an asset registry tailored for your need and maybe for some other system to which you need to communicate with. So Flash design logic now is smarter and syncing scenarios behave predictably, helping you maintain consistency across assets. Carla, I want to give the floor back to you now with the delete and retirement management when it comes to SIS.
Yes, thank you. And amazing demo, by the way. I'm really excited about all of these new things. Okay, let's go back then to deletion and retirement. So I really hate when the system is not that flexible, whatever tool that I'm using. And I think we had like some of the similar issues that we were trying to solve. So listening to customer feedback and seeing really what's possible. There are some certain times when some objects within SIS are becoming obsolete, which creates a necessity to indicate that these objects are no longer in use. So you might delete them, which is fine, but then they are deleted and you cannot see them anymore. But sometimes you might have the need for regulatory audit or any internal requirement to still keep them for like historical evidence. So that data may still be inside of IMS. So we have created a different set of rules for deletion management, for retiring management in SIS module. So you can do kind of both depending on what your assets or regulatory audit needs. So you kind of get the flexibility of handling all of those use cases. Um, so this kind of gives you the overview of what can be done. So there is no more legacy clutter. Dependencies remain transparent, and your data stays audit-proof with this new feature. Going to the drawings and documents management. So I'm very biased here. Most of these things I worked on, so I'm really excited to kind of show this to our customers. So we did one huge change with drawings. So we redesigned the whole UI in the drawings tab, so you get more clarity, more visibility on actually the things that you need the most. And if you're working with any type of drawing or any type of document, you know how important it is to find the necessary information and kind of connect that with maybe your equipment, with your CMLs, flocks. So you will have the better visibility of everything that you need on one screen. You can now import drawings more easily, and you will not have to stress your head like, oh, did I upload the correct version? Did I upload the correct file? IMS kind of does the thinking for you. If you already have a document with the same name inside, you will get like a message which says, oh, okay, this is already here. So there is also feature related for audit and traceability with event history. So still kind of in this whole area of connected ecosystem. If you need to kind of see what was changed or who changed some things within your documents, you now have the ability to do this. Um, so we redesigned drawing sections so that even complex assets load quicker, look cleaner, and they're easier to navigate and manage, which is of course important because you need to have like clear visibility of what's going on. To show you and not just talk about this, we will go into the drawings demo where I will showcase everything that we kind of talked about, so you get like a visual representation of those things as well.
You can see here, this is the drawings grid, which shows all of the drawings assigned to equipment, so you can search it. It should be pretty familiar to you, but you can notice this plus button here in the top left corner, which is similar to what you have already seen in the flock, equipment, CMLs, condition history, or any other tab where you might be uploading some of the objects inside of the IMS. If I click on this plus button, it will open up a new pop-up, which now lets me import the drawing, assign it to equipment, give it some description, configuration, assign some drawing type, and I can do this upload from my local PC or laptop or I can do it from the external source, which might be some document management system that you have integration with between that and IMS, like SharePoint or Acai, for example. But for the demo purposes, let's stay on the local source. I will click on the green button called Browse, which will let me kind of search for my drawings. For example, let's take this one. I can name it and I'll call it test as well. And I will connect it to an equipment because this field is mandatory. These two, drawing ID and name, are the different differentiators where you can see that you're not uploading maybe the same document which already exists. So if, for example, I already had this 3007-1 document inside of the IMS, then the system will prevent me from uploading that again. That's why I have the drawing ID, which is the unique field, and I also have the name if I want to kind of upload the same document but maybe with a different name just because I need it for any additional purposes. So I will give this currently a different name. I'm not going to assign any configuration or drawing type because that can always be done manually after the upload is completed. And if I click on save, it will upload the document and connect it to this equipment, which if I'm in the equipment page, I will be able to see this drawing or document attached to it and do either some annotations with it, explore it, create a snapshot, download, whatever I need to do inside of my workflow. Okay, the drawing is now uploaded. As I can see this green toast message in the top right corner, and if I want to search for it, let's see, it's here, this one, and you can see the redesigned drawing details page where we put the drawing a little bit more in the center of the page so you can kind of see it more clearly, or if you want to resize it, you still have the option to do that, to put focus more for the details. The details are on the right with the same controls for the re-uploading, for the downloading of the drawing. Also, you can still see the connected drawings. You can edit whatever you need to do, like the name, or assign it a certain configuration. And you can see mapping on the bottom, which will show you for which flocks, equipments, and CMLs this drawing is connected or mapped with, so you can assign additional configuration, additional mappings, and additional equipments, or even CMLs if they exist on this drawing. For example, if I go to this equipment now, I will be prompted to the equipments page, and if I scroll just a little bit down below, I will find my drawing. It's this one called KPU test. So this means that I've successfully attached my drawings with this equipment. If I need to upload any other document or drawing for this equipment, I can do it from this screen as well. I have the upload button, and if I click on it, I will get the same kind of pop-up window with the similar information without the external source, because the external source is still here under the search for drawings and documents. So uploading still works in this way as well. And yeah, those are some of the things that we did on drawing, mostly UI changes for the first part, but also some additional features like uploading the drawing and also kind of having better visibility for the drawing, so it's more in the full screen or more easier to kind of see it than it was before when it was layered one below. So that's it, yeah, for the drawings demo.
Okay. So final section, innovation spotlight, which might be kind of different than what you are used to. So we did kind of say some of the things, and there might be some Easter eggs if you were listening carefully. But before we close, we want to highlight something very completely different. It's not a release that it's available for you, but it's a glimpse of where IMS is heading next. The world is changing fast, and we are building capabilities that match that pace. So what we were kind of trying to do and what challenge we were faced with. So inspection workloads keep growing while all of the teams keep shrinking. Assets are aging, standards are tightening, and everybody is expected to detect more anomalies with better accuracy in less time. But the industry kind of hit a wall with manual review of photos, manual classification of corrosion, manual documentation. It's slow, it's usually very subjective, or you need like a certain type of expertise. And it pulls the engineers from making the decision, which are really supposed to be like a life-changing decision for your asset. So the innovation that we did is kind of two-phased approach, one with robotics and one with AI. So we ran two innovation tracks. So for the robotic inspection data, um, instead of kind of having the robots getting the data dump, manual sorting of the data, manual uploading of the data, uploading that to your workflow, we are testing a feature, or we are actually trying to test a future where robots can scan your assets, detect anomalies, which are then synced into the IMS, which again automatically creates inspection points or recommendations. So we are reducing this kind of clutter and bottleneck from engineers to kind of having a more automated workflow. But also parallel to that, we were testing the AI anomaly detection, where we were trying to figure out if machine learning model can actually reliably detect anomalies on smaller data sets of images to classify corrosion on piping, on bolts, on studs, maybe some different coating defects. And we built a model that delivered in the higher 80s or lower 90s precision. Is it perfect? No. Is it promising? Absolutely. So we know that this is the future, and it proves that AI can take the first pass, highlight areas of concern, and reduce time spent manually scanning hundreds of images. And it's a foundation that we can build on. So this closes the loop between field technology and integrity workflows seamlessly and automatically.
That's quite interesting feature, Carlo.
Yes, that is true. And I'm really excited to see where this will kind of go into the upcoming years because yeah, this definitely is the future. And Ivana, back to you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for this insightful overview. Lots of exciting things happening. So it seems like 2025 was the year IMS became faster, simpler, and more connected. So, just as a recap of this webinar and 2025 altogether, a few points from my side as well. So, across all modules from PEI, PLSS, SIS, RCM, FCM, our goal was the same: to remove friction, reduce admin, and give your teams clearer and earlier decision making. You saw productivity improvements, cleaner workflows, stronger compliance tools, and a system that finally behaves the way integrity teams in work in real life, and not how software thinks they should work. And with the innovation track, like the AI anomaly detection that you were just talking about, robotics integration, automated insights, you also saw where we're heading next. So the future is very exciting. Again, this is not replacing engineers, but giving them a system that does the heavy lifting so they can focus on judgment and not data wrangling. And this is where IMS shows its true strength, handling deep, complex integrity logic without slowing anyone down, and doing it with connected workflows that actually save time. So, that being said, thank you for being with us today. We will move to the Q&A section. And of course, if you want a deeper look at any module, workflow, or the AI robotics track, we are happy to walk you through it post-webinar. Okay, so first question we received, and Carlo, I think this one is for you. So, how do you see AI in Cenosco's products?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So AI is currently like a big buzzword. There is a lot of hype around it. Some people are scared of it, some people embrace it completely. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. So Marco already showed what we have currently available in, and I think that what future will kind of bring us is implementing the tools which actually help you reduce your manual workflows, your manual kind of input of data or analyzing of the data, so you can really make better and informed decisions faster, so we can focus really on things that matter. So this can be, like I said, the proof of concept for anomaly detection. This doesn't mean that somebody will be replaced. It just means that people can do things faster and more accurate. So I really do see this kind of helping you, yeah, making more informed decisions, connecting this with maybe some different analytics you might have. So I'm really excited what the future holds for this.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Carlo. Marco, I have one question for you as well. So, what do you think the next 2 or 3 years look like for connected asset integrity platforms? And how is Cenosco preparing customers for that future?
Oh, that's a really good question, Ivana. Thank you for that. Well, our main vision of IMS is definitely to make the asset management and asset integrity management specifically more easier. And in that part, so it's not just the integrity. We want to make it easier to manage integrity, safety, and reliability aspects of your assets. So this is our main long-term vision of IMS, and when it comes to the next 2 or 3 years, we really see IMS how it can be more connected, more robust, that can talk with multiple systems while making sure that all the data that our customers are providing in the system it actually gets a nicely structured. So when it gets to the new technologies such as AI, that it actually can be used purposefully so that AI can actually generate some value out of it, so that actually the data can be productized in a way that it generates value, so that the data can actually really tell you what the future brings, not just you're just reactive in your maintenance, but also to be really become proactive. And in that area, we see a lot of AI, remote inspections. We see a lot of sensor data as well coming in. But more importantly, we see more and more actual methodology tools and different standards which IMS will be supporting in the coming future in the next 2 3 years.
Awesome. That's great to hear, Marco. Seems like the future is really exciting.
Thank you,
So,
Ivana, for giving me the easier question.
of course, no worries about that. So, with that, we have reached the end of this webinar. So, I will thank you all for participating today. We will see you on December 10th for our next webinar. AI meets integrity, what's coming in 2026. So, this will be a very special webinar with our guest speakers, Cenosco CEO Rahul Kejriwal, industry expert Sejkin Dabi, and Cenosco's head of domain experts Rowan Vaduganathan. You can register on our website. So, again, thank you all and have a great day.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Carlo. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
And see you next year.
See you next year.
Yes.